Hey guys, hey honeys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So today I do want to discuss infertility related stuff. Today I want to talk about why infertility isn't talked about, why people going through it don't openly talk about it, don't share it with their friends, don't share it with their coworkers, don't share their journey on social media, just in general why people don't talk about infertility. So number one, I think this was a big one for me personally, and I'm sure it is for other people. It's just such a personal experience. It's so personal. I mean, how else do you explain it? It's a struggle that you and your partner are going through. Possibly the biggest struggle that you guys have had to date, and possibly the biggest struggle that you're going to have for the rest of your life when it comes, to your relationship, is your infertility journey. That's why a main reason why I didn't share my journey is because it is so personal. You don't want the questions from people. You don't want comments from people. It's one of those things that you can be happy one second, and sad the next second, and mad the next second, and it's just, it brings on an array of emotions. And a lot of times, for your own sake and to guard your own heart, you do keep that to yourself, again, as I did. And number two, this really plays into that, and you're scared that other people won't understand what you're going through. And that was, again, a huge one for me. Opening up about such a personal experience to somebody when not everybody goes through it. To this date though, in 2020, 2021 now, there are way more people that struggle with infertility than there were 20 years ago, and then 40 years ago, and 60 years ago, So a lot of people don't get it, and a lot of people haven't gone through it themselves. So they can't wrap their head around the fact that it is such a struggle. Again, there's people out there that are popping out kids left and right on their third, fourth kid, when you're over here trying to, have your first one, and you're struggling so bad and so hard. And they just don't get it. Those are the people that are going to say, well, try this, try that. Did you do this? Did you do that? And all you have to do is this. And, just silly things. And 99% of the time, they don't mean it maliciously. They just truly don't understand. And, it's like opening up a science book and you're, learning about Mars, and you don't know a dang thing about it. You're just, when the teacher's trying to tell you about it and you just don't understand yet, you don't know a dang thing about it. That's how these people are. They don't know a dang thing about it. And though the comments can really get to you and get you down and upset you and maybe sometimes even anger you, again, feelings are totally valid. I've been there. But it still doesn't make it right. It still hurts you, and it still is just one of those things that, maybe it is best to keep it to yourself. If you're one of those people that are, are going to be affected by every little thing like that, it may be best to keep your journey to yourself. And that's how I was. I knew myself, I knew my emotions, that I had to watch out for people making comments like that to me, because it would upset me for a short period of time. And, depending on what was said or who it came from, could upset me for a longer period of time. So again, that was, another reason why I chose to keep things to myself and kept that, personal decision to myself. I even still, to this day, am very cautious. Obviously, I have a YouTube channel. Obviously, I post on Instagram about my pregnancy, but a lot of people, throughout my job, and have just now been able to see that I'm actually pregnant, because I do wear a sweatshirt to work every day, and most of the time a jacket because it's cold in the medical office. So again, I really just popped over the past week or two, and so now that I'm 27 weeks, People are starting to notice a little bit more, and even then it's a basic, yes, I'm pregnant, blah, blah, blah. I did have somebody tell me last week, like, oh, I was wondering when it was gonna happen. I was wondering if you needed help. Like, ignorant, so ignorant. So, you know, the comments still do get to me, like, no, I didn't need help. It wasn't that easy. Obviously, I'm not gonna go into the whole story with you. It's not necessary. You know, I'm not gonna waste my breath on people like that. Again, a lot of the times they don't mean it maliciously, but as somebody that obviously knows that I'm married, and you're gonna make that comment to me, like if I needed help getting pregnant, like that's just disrespectful to me. That's disrespectful to my husband and my child. So like a comment like that doesn't sit well with me. So at that point, I'm gonna tell you, shut up and give you an eye roll and leave it at that. And that's me being nice about it, because we all know we could go off, but is it worth it? Absolutely not. So, you know, that's another thing is people just won't understand, and you know, it can cause you to be upset. Another reason why people don't talk about it is the pressure. So say you're open about it, and you know, you're telling this person that you're getting ready to go through an IUI or an IVF, and then they're asking like, okay, did you start your meds? When are you going through with it? When is your transfer? When is your retrieval? When is your insemination? And so they're really, you know, staying with you through the whole process. When are you taking your pregnancy test? Oh, I can't wait to come in and ask her, like, you know, is it positive? Is it negative? Kind of deal. That is so much pressure on you. And I personally was not one that wanted that pressure. Again, such a personal experience. I wanted to go through it with me, you know, and Ashton, and then our close family and friends. Other than that, in my opinion, nobody else needed to know about our situation until we were ready to openly talk about it and discuss it. That pressure is something that could possibly stress you out, and then it opens doors. It opens doors to people, again, keeping up with you and asking you questions. So are you pregnant? Are you pregnant yet? Are you pregnant yet? Are you pregnant yet? And you know, if your journey does end up being longer than you thought, and you have months and months and months of people asking you that, when you're constantly getting negative tests, that's only going to bring you down. Because, you know, if you're having a great day and then somebody's like, oh, hey, weren't you supposed to take a test yesterday? You know, was it positive or negative? And you had to break the news to them. And, you know, that's going to bring up that sadness all over again. And, you know, depending on how many people you told or how open you were with the situation, if you have to repeat yourself over and over and over again, you're setting yourself up for sadness, you know, on multiple occasions, which is really tough. I mean, again, you have to guard your heart. If you're very, you know, and if you're a very open person and you're not opposed to sharing your infertility journey, go you. There needs to be more people like you, because too many people are in this situation. But if, you know, if you don't want to share your journey, I get it. Obviously, I've been there, and this is, you know, this is exactly why people don't talk about it. And these reasons that I'm giving you are exactly why people don't talk about it, because it is too hard. The shame that you can feel is another one. I know I had felt shame, and I still do at some points. The shame and the guilt of being a woman and not being able to get pregnant, and not being able to, you know, stay pregnant possibly if you are having losses. Or, you know, yeah, not being able to carry a pregnancy, of being a woman when you were made to do that. Again, if you choose to become pregnant, if this is, you know, your life journey, if this is what you want. But not being able to feel like a woman in that aspect, just feeling like your body has let you down, is a really, really hard thing to wrap your head around. And that's hard not to feel shameful. Again, infertility, a lot of the times you have no control over it. You know, if you're overweight, can you lose weight? may that help? Yes. You know, if you eat crappy foods, if you eat healthier, may that help? Yes. Same thing with vitamins, you know, such like that. Like, can that stuff help? Yes. But it also can do you absolutely no good, which is where I was at. But, you know, that brings shame and guilt, and, you know, the guilt of not, again, getting pregnant or carrying a baby, you know, the guilt you feel when it comes to your partner, that you can't do that for them, that you can't give them the greatest gift of life, which is a child. That makes you feel so crappy. And even though, you know, it's not, you tell yourself it's not your fault and it's not your fault and there's nothing you can do, that still sits there. And again, I still carry that. Obviously, I have my girl in my belly and things are going well, but I still have that shame and that guilt of not being able to make this happen a lot sooner. And, you know, probably not, you know, I'm probably not going to be in these shoes again, which is really, again, that's a whole nother sadness that I don't want to talk about right now. But as a woman, you know, when you're the one that's carrying the child, you feel all of these emotions, and you put the blame on yourself when a lot of the times it's not your fault. You know, there's unexplained fertility out there, and then there's, you know, sperm factors, which obviously comes from the male, and then, you know, with the female, it can be your ovaries or your uterus or, you know, your cervix, anything that could be causing issues. And so in that aspect, it could be your fault or his fault, but at the end of the day, it's nobody's fault. But, you know, in your relationship, you should never put blame on that person. In our situation, yes, I was the issue, but we should never put blame on that other person, and Ashton has never held that against me, which I'm extremely thankful for, and I hope in your relationship that doesn't happen for you. But again, there's just many reasons why, and most of the time people don't talk about infertility just to guard their own heart and to guard their own emotions, because it's such a sensitive topic. And again, the biggest thing that they're going to go through in their life and the biggest struggle, and it's okay to not share that with everybody, because again, it's okay to not share that you got a new car with somebody or that you bought a new house with somebody, you know, let alone your infertility struggles. So anyway, I hope this helped some of you guys, and I hope this helped you understand as to why, you know, when you're questioning yourself, like, oh, I do want to talk about this to people, but then I can't bring myself to open up. You know, there are reasons inside of you as to why. And again, if you're struggling, especially in these winter months, I encourage you to reach out to a counselor or a therapist, you know, a friend group, a group that's going through this, or anybody. And I encourage any of you guys to reach out to me, because again, even though I am pregnant, I do still struggle with those infertility emotions. Those are never going to go away, and I know they will always be there. And so I would love to talk to you, encourage you to keep going and don't give up. And, you know, I would love to be by your side as somebody who understands exactly what you're going through. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you very soon.